All right. Thank you all for joining us tonight. So tonight is our AXO recap. And AXO stands for Afro Academic, Cultural, Technological, Scientific Olympics. So that is our art and STEM competition. For those of you who've been following us, you know we had two local gold medal winners that won AXO for our branch here in Gwinnett County. And we sponsored them to go and raise funds to help them go to the national competition in Charlotte. So tonight's recap is just them talking about their experience since that was their first time. We haven't done AXO in Gwinnett County in almost 20 years. It's been almost 20 years since we sent the last students down to AXO. So for those of you watching, if you're one of those students who we sponsored to go to AXO back in 2006 or 7, please reach out to us. We would love to meet you and let you come and talk about your experience and maybe serve as a mentor for some of those who we sent this year and then who we'll be sending next year. We hopefully have a bigger cohort of students next year. So before we get started, just want to cover a few announcements of some upcoming events that we have. First, I want to start with our back to school event, which will be on this upcoming Sunday, August the 3rd from 11 to 3 p.m. Please go to www.gwinnettnaacp.com, go to our events page, and register in order to receive backpack and school supplies. We'll be offering free haircuts. And this is in partnership with a lot of different organizations. I want to first and foremost, thankful to Ms. Shante Stroud, our AXO chair, who is pretty much the main host of this event, something her and her family started many, many years ago. So the Gwinnett NAACP, the Mocha Moms, Protective Services, our AXO committee, our youth council, all these different organizations partner with her to Mayor Flavors, all these different organizations partnered with her to help Tiger Entertainment make this event possible. So please come out. Make sure you go to our website and register. If you're on Facebook, you can go to our events page, and there is a link where you can click on tickets and register there. It is free registration, so you're not paying anything, but you do have to be registered because it's only one backpack per parent. So we're not letting people double dip or triple dip in terms of the supplies. We want to have enough to go around to everybody. We do also have some other upcoming events that we're going to be doing. So on August the 5th, we will have our health forum, which will be feature diabetes. Diabetes has shown to be one of the highest has been one of the highest rates of diabetes in Gwinnett County. Gwinnett County among Black residents that live in Gwinnett are trending higher than the state average among Black residents across the state of Georgia. So we're going to have one of our resident doctors on to come on and talk about that and the impacts of that and what we can do to get those numbers down. And then finally, on August the 26th at 7 p.m., we'll have our first book club. The featured book will be Blood in My Eye by George Jackson in celebration of it being Black August, which for anybody that knows the history of Black August, it's a month of resistance. So I figured it wouldn't be no better book to start with than Blood in My Eye to kind of close out what will be toward the end of Black August, talk about our resistance, especially in times like these with everything we're seeing happening politically. So like I said, please definitely look out for that. We'll post flyers for that as well as our health event this month. We do have a bunch of upcoming events as well that we'll talk more about as those events get scheduled. The next, like I said, the last two events I mentioned will be virtual events that you can attend. So at this time, I am going to bring on our astute guest, our AXO chair, Ms. Shante Stroud, and also our two students that participated in AXO, Ms. Hazel Tete Cambridge and Alexis Peterson. And so we'll go around the room and let everybody introduce themselves, starting with our Madam EXO Chair Shante Stroud.
Hi, I am the AXO Chair, Shantae Stroud Townsend. Um, I'm also on many different committees. So, yes.
All right. Thank you. All right. And then Hazel.
Hello, I'm Hazel. I'm 17 years old. I'm a senior in high school and I go to Peachtree Ridge High School.
All right. And Alexis.
Hi, I'm Alexis Peterson. I'm 15 years old. I go to second year high school. Um, yeah, and I'm gonna be a sophomore.
All right. Thank you all. Thank you all. So thank you all for joining us for tonight's EXO recap. I just wanted to bring you all on. I don't know if y'all following TikTok. Y'all some local celebrities. Y'all was trending on TikTok for your interviews you did while we was in Charlotte. So I wanted to let the people come back and hear from you because I know it was kind of loud in Charlotte when we did the interview. So they might not have been able to hear everything you all was saying, but for the most part, I think they got caught most of what you was saying while you was down there. But this is a good time to definitely give the people a recap of what happened. So we'll first just start with, and I'm gonna start with the students first, and then I work my way to our chair, Madam Chair. So Alexis, describe your experience at Axel. How was the experience in Charlotte?
Um, I think I might have been to a convention before, but that was probably like the biggest like convention place with like so many people from all over the country, like in one place. I don't remember the last time I've been to something like that.
Okay.
So it was a pretty new experience for me, but it was fun. It was fascinating to see like all the different people like coming together to this one place. Um and yeah, it was pretty cool.
Okay. All right, Hazel.
Um, I've been to a convention before. This early February, I went to a convention for Skills USA. But I like to say this convention was like different from the other one. It was longer too, and I would say it was a little bit more fun. I can't lie. Um, Honestly, I really enjoyed the experience. Like it was very cool to be in. Truly.
Okay. And then Madam Chair.
So, I do a lot of conventions, but this convention was a little different. Like the young lady said, it's a whole lot different from all the other ones. Most of the conventions I go to, of course, is more work, learning about different tactics and protocols. So, this was a little different, but I enjoyed watching all of the champions from all over the country come together and being in unity. Like it didn't matter where they came from, they stuck together. You wouldn't know that a lot of them didn't know each other. So I really, 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 really enjoyed it. And I encourage everybody to need to experience at least once in their life.
Okay. Now we got a little bit of static on your end, Shantae, so I don't know what's causing it to break up a little bit. But yeah, just because I want everybody to definitely hear you. Yeah. All right.
So
So, all right. Huh?
that's on my end.
Yeah, it's still a little bit there. So I don't know what could be causing it. But we're gonna keep the show rolling. So let's go to the next question. I guess so. Both of you all won locally, um, and because that's how you ended up going to the national. So I guess describe the actual, I guess maybe difference when y'all got to Charlotte in terms of like the actual competition itself. And well, before we even get to that, I want to talk about something that was probably one of my biggest highlights of the entire event, which was you all coming in like almost in a parade style with the banner. And so talk about that. Let's talk about that and maybe the preparation that went up to that. How was that experience?
Um, well, we had to like they had us like standing there for like I don't know how long for like about like what was like an hour I think they had us like standing there everyone's feet was hurting and stuff. We had to they made us like make a chant also for like our unit too. So we were all like chanting, and when we came out with our banner, it was a bunch of people we didn't know too. Also at the same time, so we have a banner. We have like a bunch of people, and we're all like chanting with like a little song. I'm pretty sure Alexis made the song too. Yeah, Alexis made the song, and we were all just like chanting, and we all like came out like. What was the song again? I don't remember how it went, but it was like pretty cool, like being around all those people. But yeah, I liked it, honestly.
All right, Alexis.
I think I made a suggestion for what the chant would be, and even though they were like, "Oh, that was pretty cool," I don't think they took it. So instead, the chant was "GA We Don't Play GA Air Day."
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah.
and you know, my family's from Louisiana, and Louisiana they had like the Mardi Gras stuff. So I was like, oh my god, how are we gonna? Well, what are we gonna do about that? Because like I live in Georgia, but I mean technically my heart's in Louisiana, so I don't know. But it was cool. Like we were like shouting the chant and stuff, and everybody was super pumped and excited and all that. Like everybody was like taking videos, and like when we got into the stadium, not the stadium, the like the actual awards ceremony place, it was like a lot. There was a lot going on, but it was cool.
Okay, Shantae.
We're talking about when we came in.
Yeah, I came in. How was that? And how was the experience leading up to that, and then the actual experience when y'all came marching in?
It was different because we had to come up with a chant, and the kids, we was trying. Bless their hearts. They was coming up with different things, and we finally got it together to be on one accord. And you know, it's different because it was by us being from Georgia, everybody from Georgia had to come up with the one chant. So, you know, we had to come together and be on the same page.
So y'all did this in collaboration with the other students across Georgia? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So at least y'all had some collaboration. And for those who don't know, I think our state conference, which is pretty much all the NAACP, you know, branches and youth chapters that may have an AXO committee. I think we sent a total of 15 kids from Georgia, including the 2 that came out of Gwinnett. So we have total 15 students total, if I'm not mistaken, that represented Georgia for AXO. And like I said, we're going to hope to, at least here in Gwinnett, continue to grow that number. I guess now we could, well, I got one more question before we jump into the actual competition. So what did y'all think? And for those who haven't seen it, it is on the NAACP, the National NAACP YouTube page. So if you just get on YouTube, type in NAACP, you should be able to find the national YouTube page, which will have the sort of black background with NAACP, I think written in white letters. And you'll be able to go to AXO Awards ceremony from 2025, and you can watch. It's like a 4-hour thing. So Nico was there from most people know him from P Valley. So what do y'all think about him as a host? How was that experience? Because y'all got a chance to see him host the event. How do y'all feel like about the whole him hosting? And you could kind of talk about the whole ceremony process too a little bit. And then we'll start. I think Hazel went first. Go ahead. You can go with this first. Go ahead. You jump in.
Yeah. I thought it was really cool because I knew he was like a celebrity. I wanted to get like a picture of him, but like he left before like I could like ask him. So I was like kind of sad about that. But yeah, he was like a really like charismatic host. He was like he had like the audience like participate a lot of the time. I don't know what to say. Like he was a really good host. Like I generally liked him as a host too. Like it was really funny too. So he was pretty good. I can't lie.
All right, Alexis.
Yeah.
I didn't really recognize him because I don't watch a whole lot of like TV shows like and like the popular ones. Sometimes I do, but I didn't recognize him. But he was pretty funny. I really liked his suit. but yeah, I liked him.
Yeah,
He
I
was
did.
a good host.
That was amazing. Yeah.
Okay, Shantae.
Oh, so I love me some Uncle Cliff. Let me tell you. See, I love me some Uncle Cliff. Um, he always act up. He always know how to bring the energy and get the crowd participation. I like the way he stopped the show to give flowers to where it's due. Right then and
Right.
there. And then I thought it was pretty dope that he actually was a part of the show
Yes.
at one point in time. So for you to come back to remember your roots, I thought that was really dope. So
Okay. All right. So I guess we give the people what they want. We can finally get into the actual experience with the the competitions itself. So Alexis, I'm gonna let you go first. So just describe to me, I guess, maybe some of the differences when at the national competition, maybe versus the local, and just your whole experience with that, both participating and watching others in your category, or maybe even outside your category, participate in that. Because I missed that part. That's the only thing I hate. I unfortunately, as president, sometimes you do some good things, you get recognized, and then they stick you in. They give you more responsibilities. So I was doing the Democracy Summit, and it was a private sort of session of training that only a select few of individuals got, and so that overlapped with the competition. So I missed that, and so walk me through that and tell me about that experience.
Okay, so the competition, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous, very nervous, and like I went to the judge Miss Rosemary.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to like her masterclass thing with the poetry performance.
Okay.
And it was cool. And like everybody was like reciting their poems and stuff, either from their phone or from memory. And that was because I had never done spoken word before. And so as I was listening to these poems, I was like, oh shoot, I don't know if I'm ready for this. Cause like all the poems were about Black trauma and stuff. And like it's good to like write about that and like say how you feel and stuff, especially like in spoken word where you kind of have to be like passionate and acting like your poems and stuff. But like I had never written a poem like that before, so I was starting to feel like what if this is inadequate. And so like when I recited the poem, I accidentally let it show that I forgot like towards the end. But Miss Rosemary, she told me that I couldn't like let them know that I forgot. But everybody still clapped and everything, and the other contestant said that the poem was funny.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I asked my dad about it, because he had seen like the video, he said that it wasn't like the poem itself was funny; it had funny moments. But like it was more like a critique on or like my view on like how I saw art, or maybe like fake confidence, stuff like that.
Okay.
And that's a powerful message as well. So
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think and for those who don't know, Alexis won gold as in poetry performance. So that's kind of what the discussion is about. And I would just say, hey, if everybody's doing like you said, maybe some type of trauma with poetry performance, yours can be kind of different, just to lighten up the room, or something else. I think anytime you're offering something different perspective, that's always a good thing, just to switch it up. Because I think the biggest thing is going to be just your ability to be in the moment. So like you're saying, knowing the poem, memorizing the poem, and if it's supposed to be funny, be able to add those humorous moments in there. If it's supposed to be serious, add the serious moments. If it's supposed to be something that's I just think you just got to get into whatever the poem or the poetry is about, in terms of the performance, being able to just be into the actual the moment with that poem. So Hazel, you did photography.
Yes.
So describe your experience in doing that.
Okay, the competition itself, I would say I was incredibly nervous the entire time. Partly because I felt like underdressed. A lot of people were like in like everyone there was in like professional wear, but like I guess I didn't get the memo or something, because I was sitting here in like casual wear, like or something. I'm here with my ripped jeans. Everyone is like with their like dresses in like their heel. I'm like, ooh, okay, points off. So I was like, okay, like I already feel like I made like a bad impression based on that part, but I just kind of like I tried to like do the best I could, honestly. I was incredibly nervous. Miss Shantae and my mom, they had like went to Walgreens to like get me like some frames for my pictures because everybody had like their pictures framed, like the picture frames, and mine were like they were like framed with like poster paper. So like mine weren't like professionally framed, and I didn't know we had to get it professionally framed. So I saw that, I was like, ooh, I need to get my frame. So they came like at like the quickest they could. They went to Walgreens and came back, and right before I had to like go on there to like present, they came back with my things. They gave up my like put my pictures in the posters. So I was like, thank God for them, honestly. I was also nervous a bit because everybody there was like super talented. Like all of their like pictures, they looked like really good, and the way that they like talked about their pictures, my messages behind all of their photos were also like exquisite. Like it was very, very, very good. So I did. So like as just like Alexa said, I felt like a bit inadequate compared to them because it just felt like we were on like two different levels. Like I felt like I was an amateur and they were like experts. Like it just felt like there's like such a big like level difference between the rest of them. But yeah, they're all like very talented people, honestly. And I talked to a few of them, and they're all really kind. So none of them were like rude or snobby or anything. But yeah, I liked being in the competition.
Okay. And let me just ask, because of course, like I said, this is for y'all are representing the first time we sent two students there. Like I said, almost 20 years. So let me ask this. So now that y'all had a taste of what it's like to be there, I guess what would be some lessons learned that if you happen to win gold, next year in 2026, that you would take away, if saying y'all both do the same categories again, what would I guess be some lessons learned that I guess not only will help you for next year, but anybody else that any of your classmates or friends that may be at the same school or different school that you maybe would give them in their preparation. If they win or if you win yourself. So Alexis, you can start with
that. To be honest, what I took away from that, like maybe like a new perspective on different fields like poetry, performance, spoken word. Because if I'm being honest, I did not really want to perform. I just put that because it said poetry in the front. I was like, oh, and I didn't realize that it said poetry written. And so it was like, well, too late to change it now. But I am thinking of doing like a acting because I also like acting and stuff. So that might be a thing that I'm doing. But I will say this: the next time that I'm doing or that anybody's doing this, I'd say to not feel like what you have is inadequate or doesn't measure up to like everybody else because you may be like, oh my gosh, everybody's so talented, and I this is stupid. Like, what am I doing here? I shouldn't be here. But that's not true. Like, you worked hard to get here, and you shouldn't think of yourself that way.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna build on that before I go to Hazel because I mean, again, y'all got to look at y'all in the best school system in Georgia, being at GCPS by a country mile, and for you all to come out of it, and I know we didn't have a super huge cohort of students competing AXO this year because this was our first year doing it in quite some time. But again, what people got to realize, with AXO, you're really competing against yourself in a lot of ways and not necessarily against the other person because it's a score tiered system. So even if you're in a competition by yourself, you still have to score high enough with the judges in order to be eligible to even go. So even if you just, hey, I'm doing, a group of 5 that's doing culinary, they still have to score high enough to even go. They can be in a category by themselves and still not be eligible to go because they didn't score high enough. And so those are just some of the things that, you got to keep in mind. And like you said, kind of like what Nico was saying, the host of the award show, the fact that you all was in the room, that was enough, the fact that you was there. But not to belabor, I'm going to go ahead to Hazel. What's some lessons learned, some things you took away that, you either for yourself or anybody else that'll be preparing next year?
I have like about two lessons I learned from this experience. One of the lessons I would say is that like winning isn't everything, right? Like winning is great. Of course, we all like want to, like we all came here to win. We all want to win, right? But like the most important part is the journey along the way. The fact that we all even had like the opportunity to come here, and to like even like present like our work to like all of these judges and guests, and have the opportunity to like even like get a scholarship. Like that's a blessing in and of itself. I feel like people don't ever like realize that. So winning isn't everything. The journey is fun. It's not always about like winning. It's like about the people you meet, what you learn from the experiences too. And honestly, it was just like a really fun experience to me, at least. And then I guess a second one would be like to have confidence in your abilities as an artist. I feel like a lot of times like we're sitting here, we're feeling inadequate because like, oh, we're not as good as them. Maybe we're not as smart as them. Ours doesn't look as good as theirs. But like you have confidence in like the things that like because you're not going to be like them because you're not them. You have to like know that like your art is unique to you and you alone, and you have to have confidence in that as an artist. That's what I learned.
All right, excellent. And it looked like we lost our chair. I guess she has some technical difficulties. So before we just wrap it up, and I'm gonna try to give her some time to get back on, but I think she's trying to pop back in. There we go. I see her pop back in. Just before we wrap up, I do got one. Well, let me see if we can get Shantae back in here. All right, can you hear us, Shantae?
Yes, I don't know what's going on with this.
Okay, you clear now. I don't know what you did. So for you as Madam Chair, what's some takeaways you have from the experience? For both of them, what's some advice you would give to them? Because I know Alexis, with her, she kind of switched up. I think she did one piece because I didn't see her performance. One piece here locally, and I know she kind of switched up in Charlotte. So, what's some takeaways or some advice you feel like? Because you watched it, you seen them both perform. So, what would be your feedback to them as chair?
Yeah, so when it came to Hazel, I would say more so make sure that well, with anybody, we need to go back and make sure that we read the comments that the judges, gave us, so we know how to continue to move forward to critique
Local,
whatever.
talking
Huh?
about talking about doing the local
The
competition.
local competition, yeah,
Okay,
to critique that. For as me, I should have followed up a little bit more and been a little bit more hands on to make sure that we followed and explained that. So I
mm-hmm.
have to take the fall for that.
Okay,
Um, I'm gonna take 100% accountability for that. I should have personally called you and had a conversation with you face to face and said, "Hey, this is what the judge is saying. This is what we're gonna do moving forward." So it's a lesson learned. And another thing is, I'm always big on if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready.
right.
So, um, when it came to the pictures, and that was part of the thing that was in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
So if I would have followed up and did my part, we would have never dropped the ball on that end.
Mm-hmm.
um and just be more confident in yourself, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't think that about your own stuff, ain't nobody else gonna think it, because you
Mm-hmm.
got it, you got the ability, you got the gift, you got the talent, you can do it, you can go all the way. You just have to believe in yourself a little bit more, and just come out of your shell. We got to just get you out your shell. And when it came to Alexis, it was more so she should have stayed with the same piece, because
Okay.
her original piece was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Alexis
I heard.
just
I heard they was raving about it. When I got back.
that
They was like,
original piece,
yeah, everybody kept all the judges called me like, oh no, she was
that
undeniable.
like when I tell you we had goosebumps and chills, you know what I mean? Like, the original piece was it, the original piece. And I'm gonna say, don't work so hard. Like, you worked hard. Like, don't overdo it. Don't over recite, because it does become robotic. It does become rehearsed. You know it. You just gotta believe in yourself that you know it. Cause nobody don't know if you don't know it but you.
Right.
And that's the truth,
Right.
because I mean, I take pictures. I'm not professional like you, Hazel, but I do take pictures, and I got a good eye for pictures. I got a good, like, and when it comes to poetry, I write poetry. Don't nobody know what we do or the angle we was going but us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and it's just about coming out yourself, believing in yourself, trusting yourself a little bit more. But that's it. And like I said, we stay ready. We ain't got to get ready. But I'm going to take accountability. I dropped the ball personally. because I should have known what piece she was doing. So that's my fault. I didn't know. I was in my head. I'm thinking, okay, she's gonna do the original piece.
Okay.
I didn't know she switched the piece. I thought it was the original.
Okay.
Just like I thought, I was told that Hazel was switching up on her pictures, but she stayed with her original.
Okay. Okay.
But it's my fault because I should have followed up. So I take 100% accountability for both of them.
Yeah. And then one thing I'll say that'll be different next year compared to this year, again, the EXO, this was new for all of us. All of us was kind of, we kind of broke ground this year because, like I said, there's been, our Freedom Fund banquet, which I forgot to mention at the beginning, is named after Reverend John C. Stewart Jr. That was the last time we sent kids or students to the national competition for EXO. Matter of fact, other than last year, that was the last time as an organization, I think we went to the national convention. So, all of it was new ground. We got started with EXO a little bit late after deadlines, and National gave us a pass on it and allowed students still to compete locally past what they was considered the cutoff, mainly because, this was our first time starting it. And so they gave us some grace with that. And I would say next year, the difference will be we're going to quite naturally roll the program out during the original timeline. This year, we got started in February. It ended May 30th. Next year, we'll be rolling it out, at least in terms of recruitment, in the fall. And then the competitions will start in the months of March and April. And hang on here. I think Shantae froze. Recruitment will start this fall, and then in the spring, March and April, when we will have the competitions, which the last competition probably take place sometime in April, and then we won't be doing any more competitions beyond that. That'll be it. So that'll give us the month of May and June really to prep, have you all continue to communicate with your mentors, because I would definitely say tap into whoever's your mentor more often, talk with them, speak with them, make sure y'all are communicating so that you can be ready, make sure that, because one thing I tried to do, I think Alexis, I heard you had a mentor, Hazel. I connected you with a good friend of mine, and I sent him the rules, of all the competition so he can know, so that y'all can communicate. But I would definitely say, tap into your mentors. We're going to continue to recruit just like we recruited judges. We'll have mentors because, again, we're going to hopefully have more people competing in more categories, which is going to open up, the competition to send more kids, which means y'all got to support us. Y'all got to donate when we put the link out for 2026 EXO donations. Please donate. Because we definitely want to do that. I think we lost Madam Chair. So hopefully she'll get back before we wrap up, because we're kind of on the tail end of things. And I want to let her ask a few quick questions before we kind of wrap things up. So I'll ask my last question before we close it out. I see her popping back in, I think, in here. So I'll ask my, final question while I try to get her in here. You there, Shantae? Oh, she's still frozen. Okay. So I'll kind of ask, my last question. Hopefully she can jump in before we close it out. I guess my last question, can you all talk about, because for those who haven't followed us, of course, we on, Facebook, Gwinnett County NAACP, Instagram, TikTok, Gwinnett _NAACP. So please follow us on social media. Please share this. Please like this, all of that good stuff. One of the things I want to talk about, because one of the young ladies that Shantae interviewed talked about how AXO kind of opened things up to have camaraderie and to get to know some of the other students that look like her, because the school that she attends, is not a lot of people of African descent that goes to the school. So she doesn't always feel seen. So can you all talk about the camaraderie that, any friendships y'all made, any people y'all connected with when you all was down there? Can y'all talk a little bit about that? Hazel, you can go first.
Friendships. Okay. So while I was there, I am a bit of an extrovert.
Yeah.
I feel like to make friends, you had to kind of like put yourself out there a bit. So like you'd have to go to like the master classes. Like I went to the acting master class, and like at the end of it, everyone like they all liked each other. We all got like each other's Instagrams and stuff. So we got everyone's Instagrams at the like after the master class acting place, and then there's the block party. So at the block party, like everybody knew each other. No, sorry, that's not true. No, we all know each other, but like, we were all some of us were familiar with each other from seeing people in competitions and stuff. And like they're all like really cool and really funny to be around. Honestly, like the block party was incredibly fun. It was on for like 4 hours straight. They had like good music. They had catering too. Like, yeah, it was really fun, honestly. And I made a lot of new friends there. I 20 plus new friends while I was there. So I was really surprised, honestly. But yeah, I met a lot of new people. They're all like very cool people to be around and hang with. So yeah, one thing I'll just say is that you have to kind of put yourself out there, but you can't kind of like be sheltered and expect people to come up to you and be your friend. You kind of have to be the one that goes up to people sometimes. Yeah. So you sometimes have to like take that like leap, that next step to like make friends. But yeah, like I love the camaraderie there, truly.
Okay. Alexis, can you speak to the camaraderie, any connections you may have made while you was down there? And just seeing black, like they say, seeing, as they say, and I hate to use the word black excellence because excellence, it comes across all spectrums. We don't have to say it's black, but I'll use it in this term since I don't have a better substitute. Talk about that. Talk about the camaraderie you form, just seeing other peers that look like you perform, and any connections you may have made while you was down there.
So there was one guy that I saw at the master class for poetry performance. His name was Jordan Cross. He was also in the competition, and I got his number, and we were very friendly with each other. I went to the acting master class as well, and that was really fun. It was awesome. And it was a lot of fun. I didn't go to the block party because we went to dinner at a lounge called Tattoos and Booze at 7 p.m. instead. After we were misled to believing that it was a restaurant and not a club, but it was 7 p.m. so nobody was there. I didn't go to the block party, but it was still fun to like talk with people and connect with people. I don't think I met like anybody. There were people like around my age, but I didn't see anybody else who was like 15 years old there.
Okay.
I don't think. There might have been. But it was still really fun to like connect with teenagers like me and like have fun with them, and it was really cool.
Okay. So it sounds like everybody had a good time. Everybody enjoyed themselves. So, now we're going to hopefully get to all of the different high schools in Gwinnett. I think Gwinnett has 15, high schools. And so what would be, I guess as a final remark, I'm trying to buy a little more time to let y'all chair get in here, our AXO chair woman get back in the room so she can ask her questions, but I'm not sure she gonna make it. But what would be, I guess, for 2026, what would be something, I guess, because you all now like our ambassadors, right? So y'all gonna be going back to your schools. Your friends probably is gonna see this video either on TikTok or on our YouTube page or Facebook. And if they hadn't already seen your original interviews that we did, because like I said, that thing went viral, over 1,000. Some people watched it. Both of you all's individual videos. So what would be, I guess, something for them that you would like to share of why they need to even participate in this program? Hazel, you can go first. You can take it first, Hazel. Did we lose Hazel? There we go. Can you hear me, Hazel? Hazel, can you hear us? Did we lose you?
Yes.
Okay, you back?
You're kind of cutting out a little bit.
I'm cutting out. Oh, wow. Okay. So I was saying, what would be?
I can hear you right now, I think.
Okay. So what would be something that you would take to your classmates or any of your friends that are in high school that could participate in AXO for 2026? what would be something you what reason would you give them to participate in this competition?
A lot of my friends are like extroverts and like making friends. So I think one thing I would tell them is that like there's a lot of camaraderie. You can make new friends left and right. Like people are very kind. No one here was like really like mean or like standoffish or anything. So making new friends here is easy too because everyone else is always trying to make new friends because we all didn't know each other. But like when we were at like the block party, another master class, it kind of felt that way because we're all just like actively trying to seek out new connections. So one thing I would say is just like honestly that like you make a whole bunch of new friends. Like I made like people, so yeah, that's definitely like something I would tell them.
Okay, so basically by competing in AXO, it gives you opportunity to meet new people, make new friends that may be either from all over the state
to like branch your network.
Yeah, branch your network. Okay, and then Alexis, what would be your advice of why your classmates or friends would want to participate in AXO?
One of my favorite parts about like the trip in general and like the convention and everything was probably like the travel and like getting to see the city of Charlotte. And like getting to meet people and like just having fun and all that. And like Hazel said, like making friends, seeing like different perspectives, because like it's a whole bunch of people from all over the country as far as Washington State. And we're going to be going to Chicago next year. So that's going to be exciting. But yeah, it's like a great way to get yourself out there, because when I was a freshman in high school, I didn't really do like a lot of activities like extracurriculars in middle school. So I kind of wanted to put myself out there a little bit and try new things for high school. And that was one of them.
Okay. All right. Now, Madam Chair, any questions from you that you want to ask the young ladies or just comments? The floor is yours.
I think you pretty much hit everything on the nail. I think Alexa said she's going to try acting.
Okay.
I think Hayes is going to stick with photography. Is that correct?
Yeah, I might like do another one or two. Yeah.
Okay. I will encourage you all to do more than one category. And I guess the question will you participate in the award ceremony next year?
The award ceremony? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you talking about for the AXO thing again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually look into being into the award show, being part of the show.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, I'm a level set. There were students that was part of the performance of the award show. I guess that's what Shantae asking.
Right.
Did they participate in that?
Yeah, because the kids, they ran the show. They actually did an excellent job. The young champions, they did great.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, I would love to do that. It looked really fun, honestly. They were delegates. I was talking to a few of them, and they said they were delegates, and they were there for like the entire week, and it looked fun to do. So honestly, I would love to like become a delegate, because they were delegates and contestants at the same time, so they had loads of responsibilities. I feel like that would give me like something more to do there. So I would love to like be a delegate there. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Now, she's setting the table, so I'm going to kick the door in. So to be a delegate, you have to be a member of our organization. So definitely want to encourage not only our two AXO participants, which I think they may have joined. I'm not sure. I ain't going to put them on the spot right now in front of everybody. But it's only $10 to join as a youth member of the NAACP. You can go to www.gwinnettnaacp.org. It's flashing across the screen about life memberships for the adults. But it's $10 for a youth membership. The life memberships for the youth, I think it's 13 and under is $100 for a junior life membership, which will cover you from 0 all the way to 13. And then from 14 all the way to 25, you can get a bronze life membership, which is $400, or 8 payments of $50. However you choose to pay off the $400 to have a bronze life, or like I say, you can just pay annually $10 up until, because you don't age out of our youth until the age of 25. I'll let, hopefully Madam Chair is back and I can let her make some just closing remarks about the experience, anything you want to talk about in preparation of maybe, I said, ask you the same question for going into 2026. What would be some reasons you think students need to participate and be part of AXO going into next year? You on me? Yep, I can hear you now.
A lot of static.
It's a little bit of static, yes.
Static on my end. So you asked me what would the closing remarks for AXO for next year, and what else?
Well, I was asking like what would be what would be like motivation for why students would need to participate in AXO going into 2026?
One, you get to make new friends from all over. The connection. I think it's very important to connect with people other than where you at.
Okay.
So it's just a connection for one. So you get to travel. Who don't like to travel?
Okay.
I'm just saying, everybody like to travel, and then if you connect with these other kids, other young champions, it's a long relationship that you can possibly have. And who knows where that would take you? Who knows what doors it might open up for you?
So the networking piece. So I know, yeah. So the audio is a little choppy, so I'm gonna try to break it down for everybody. What Madam Chair is saying, she was saying, of course, to connect and kind of network. I think that's piggybacking off of what Hazel stated, and then also to make new friends. It's piggyback, I think, off of Alexis may have stated. I think both of y'all kind of said similar things. So be a good reason to be part of it. I agree. You get a chance to travel, get out of Georgia, see the world. And I think Alexis announced it next year. We will be in the great city of the windy city of Chicago. Competitions will be from July 15th through the 19th. That will be the days we'll be in the windy city for AXO. And then, of course, our actual convention will be July 18th through the 22nd of July. So the dates are already out. We'll be definitely covering the travel as far as the airline, flight, or bus, depending on how you want to get there. If you don't trust the airline, we can, we will try to cover the bus fare or airline ticket if you want to fly in. And then, of course, quite naturally, we'll cover the hotel stay in the Windy City. Like I said, if you do want to go as a delegate, our youth council, to go, you have to be a member, and then the membership would have to just vote you to be a delegate, which means delegates, for those who don't know what that means, whether it's adult or youth delegates, it means you just get to participate in the process of any resolutions, which resolutions are just things that the national organization are going to advocate for. So you get to participate and vote on those resolutions. You get to vote for the new board members that are represented. If you're a youth on the youth council, they'll represent the youth on the national board of directors. For us as adults, we get to vote on the board of directors is going to represent the youth. And in the way the NAACP is structured, we've broken down national, then region, and then state, and then of course local. We get to vote for those regional board members to represent our region, which we're Region 5, which is basically the southeast part of the country. Is how our region is broken down. So with that being said, I definitely want to thank you both for joining us tonight. Thank our Madam Chair for all the work she put in, along with Keoti Atkins, our former AXO chair who moved to Oakland. And thank Madam Chair for coming in on the tail end really of AXO and taking over. It wasn't easy to do. Helping us fundraise, being able to raise some funds to help try to cover some of the cost for us to send our two beautiful students down to Charlotte. Coming up with different lemonade drives that we had and everything like that to help fundraise. Want to thank all our donors that donated to us to support us, and we'll be doing it again next year, bigger and better, because Chicago. We have to do it real big for Chicago, and hopefully we'll be taking more students. So thank you all. I'm going to move you all backstage and just give out a few closing remarks. And thank you all again for joining us tonight. I'm going to just say goodbye to our students for now. And just a few closing remarks I just want to go over. So first and foremost, we do, and I forgot to announce, like I said, we do have our Freedom Fund banquet, which will take place on September the 20th, Saturday at 6 p.m. at the Beaufort Community Center. So if you have not, we do got some upcoming announcements. Tickets are on sale now at bit.ly, and it's flashing across the bottom of your screen /NAACP FFB 2025. That's bit.ly ly.ly/NAACP FFB 2025. You can buy your tickets there. You can go to our Facebook page, click on events, click purchase tickets there. You can go to our website, go to our events page, buy your tickets there. So please get your tickets. It'll be $150 for individual tickets up until August the 20th. After the 20th, the new rate will be $175. So definitely get your tickets before they go up. If you are an organization or a church, please go ahead and get your table. For now, the executive committee so far, almost to a majority vote, are voting to basically lower the table cost to $1,300. And that'll be until August 20th. So it's a good time before it goes back up to $1,500 to go ahead and buy a table for 10. Be a table for 10 for only $1,300. So you do get that slight discount for finding 10 people and buying a table. What our AXO students probably don't know, they are going to be part of the Freedom Fund banquet. So they'll be able to get in free since they're going to be part of the entertainment for AXO. I'm not sure if they knew that, but I'm announcing that live now that they'll be part of the entertainment for our AXO banquet. So we're looking to get, like I said, we're going to have DJ, we're going to have music, it's going to be fun. And if you know, out of the country, I mean, not out of the country, but out of the country or out of the state of Georgia, not able to attend, you still can go to that same link. And at the bottom below the ticket and table sales, you can just make a donation if you just want to donate, because it is a fundraiser. Ultimately, this Freedom Fund banquet is one of the ways we raise funds to be able to do the work that we do, whether that's civic engagement work, whether that's our work around health, whether that's sending kids to the students to the AXO competitions around the country. Our fundraisers, anytime we raise money, allows us to do the work that we do. We don't get these multi-million-dollar grants. We don't get the funding that our national office gets. This is truly grassroots level that we're talking about and that we do. And so to continue to support the work that we do, please, go to our website, GwinnettNAACP.com to donate. Like I said, buy a table. If you're a church or organization or business, buy individual tickets and come out and celebrate with us all the excellence. We're going to be handing out awards to different community advocates during that night. So it should be a very special night to remember, really, come September the 20th on Saturday at the Beaufort Community Center. I want to thank you all again for watching. You all have a great night. And please like this on Facebook. Please share it on Facebook. Please share it on, please like it on YouTube, because we need to sort of get the algorithm going on both platforms so people can see this. Please share this on TikTok, because we'll have different cut-ups and videos of this on TikTok and on Instagram. Y'all enjoy y'all night, and thank y'all for joining us. And thank you to our students that participated in AXO. Thank you to Madam Chair, and y'all